Synopsis!
Surprise Synopses!
Surprise Synopses? What are you doing here? Never mind. Damien, wake up!
Oh,
Damien!
oh,
you
jeez.
fell asleep.
I, Captain, I was startled out of a bad dream.
Good, because we need all the help we can get on the Starship Australia 2, Kylie's Dream.
Oh, I'm bringing all systems to bear. Yes.
Good, because we're currently being invaded by...
I'm here to steal your socks.
Ah! I need my socks. They keep my footsies warm in space.
Only the left ones.
No, that makes the right ones useless. You monster. That's worse than stealing both.
I know, and unless I can take more because less for me to carry.
Ah!
Wait, are there left and right socks?
Well, just fuck off.
God.
There is if you know how to work socks.
Yeah, well, I'm level 0 at sock sorting. That's why I got the sock pirate.
Do you go sock, shoe, or sock, shoe, shoe?
Sock, shoe, shoe. What?
What?
Who goes sock, shoe, sock, what?
I go sock, shoe.
Wait.
Yeah, you're a
what?
psycho. I go sock,
What?
shoe, shoe.
You're a psych about Harley.
I normally haven't even got my shoes before I put my socks on.
Does that mean, Harley, there is a moment in a point in your life every day where you are wearing a sock and a shoe on one foot
And
and
nothing.
nothing on the other?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh my god.
And one time, between putting them on, I had to go and grab
No.
something, so I had a limp.
Did you have to hop around on your shoe?
No, I'm not crazy.
I am devastated that we have found this out so late. We could have avoided all of this
Yeah,
completely.
I'm sorry you got dragged into this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez, I didn't realize I was working with a bunch of crazy people.
Harley, we're leaving.
Oh.
I mean, Captain, I'm unfit for command. I'm tendering my resignation. You're going to have to deal with this sock monster? Pirate?
Goblin!
This gosh damn sock goblin.
This damn sock goblin.
Well,
This mighty starship is brought low by a single mythical little, imp. It's too small for our conventional weapons.
Oh, stop it, Small. I love that. What a
She's
compliment.
tiny.
Yeah.
I'd hate to see you go, but the door's right over there. if
But
you
we
wouldn't
love to watch you
mind
leave.
seeing your way.
Oh, stop it, sock goblin. You shameless flirt. Ooh.
I tried to do a goblin laugh, but nothing came out. Just air.
Yes, I'll take my belongings and go. Please activate the airlock behind me.
All right, here we go.
Rah!
All right, that's problems dealt with.
All right, well, I'll be with the socks. I'll see you later.
Oh, I was going to offer you a job. We've got an opening now.
No, I'm good with the socks. I'm a goblin. I don't really need a job.
A steady income.
Anyway, bye.
All right. That's just another day on the SS Australia 2, Kylie's Dream. Now I'm going to listen to my favourite podcast to unwind. Hello and welcome to Surprise Synopses. I'm Harley, he's...
Damien.
And she's allegedly...
Alex.
Aha, but is she?
Yes.
This is the show where we take a random trope out of... No, not a random hat. We use the same hat.
It's the same. Yeah, we
the
know which
same.
hat it is.
It's the
That would
cowboy
make
hat.
it very confusing.
Captain Hat.
You can't tell me what this is. I'm a cowboy, and I'm wearing the hat makes it a cowboy hat. I'm a captain cowboy.
All right, Captain
Captain
Cowboy.
of the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Then we also take a genre out of a different hat. And then, while we're busy synopsing for you, we mix our metaphors, just to be sure.
In a third hat.
And for you who will not be named, who complain that these aren't really synopsises, they're more plots. We actually are doing plots. We just named this Surprise Synopsis because they both start with S. Stop sooking about and calm down.
They're
And
synopses, aren't they?
Also, they're definitely synopses because we're giving the general overview of a
He says
movie.
we're not broad enough to be a synopsis.
Well, maybe his mind's not broad enough to
It could
understand.
be either. It could be a boy or a lady. Not a man or a girl though.
Well,
He's not abroad.
I've decided to come down very hard against whoever this unnamed person is. And unnamed person, I appreciate you listening to the show, but really, get your shit together. Sort it out. Come on.
Coming from you, they are really gonna like that.
I think we can trick this out of Alex really easily.
I think redacted.
Oh.
Damn it.
Well, I wasn't wrong.
What did you think? You had
no,
idea.
I just
Didn't think.
I was just generally saying I think you'd probably give it away really easily.
Yeah. Well, we'll cut that bit out.
No, that's okay.
Will we?
Oh boy.
I'll cut out the bit where you clearly give away
Yes.
who it is.
Sick. Hang on. Add this bit in there. No. Add that bit in.
Nailed it. I'm convinced.
Yeah.
Well, now I don't know what to think. It could be anyone. Alex, anyone.
Jonathan, Steve, Ben, my dog Billy,
Harley himself.
who's a good girl. Miss you,
Oh,
Billy.
Billy.
Hi, Billy.
She's getting a grey chin, and it's just killing me because she's like all black, and then she's got the little grey chin. I'm just like, "Whoa." It's adorable.
Yeah, I've never met her, but she really is.
She is.
Okay. Well, let's cut
She
to...
wears cowboy hats. Just saying. I've made her wear a cowboy hat before.
Yes.
My cat is not accepting of hats, unfortunately.
People didn't seem loving it. She had her little life jacket on, and I had her on the biscuit. And Nat had a cowboy hat, and she wore the cowboy hat. And like, I'm pretty sure there was more photos taken of that dog than the whole rest of the weekend.
Huh.
Because she was a how ye, not a yee-haw.
Dwarves. All right.
Should we pick a trope?
Let's cut to pulling the plots out of the...
Out of my head. You're the hat clicker. Sorry, Harley, it's not your
You
job.
offered it to me.
I
and then
didn't.
just, like,
I was still
pushed.
moving it.
Okay, team.
Just want to be included.
Oh, it's a good one because it's not one of mine.
Is that like a one
Or is
sentence?
it mine? No, that looks too messy to be me.
No, it's one of mine. It's just a long one.
Oh.
It is only you can see ghosts.
Ghosts?
Ghosts.
Oof. Big oof.
Only you can see ghosts.
Big oof.
Like Medium. Oh my god, were you guys like obsessed with that?
No, I
No,
wasn't.
it's an insane show for insane people.
Fuck you, and I loved it.
Um,
Or Ghost Whisperer. It was pretty much the same show with different characters.
Exactly.
what's the Patrick Swayze one where...
Ghost?
Yeah, it's Ghost, right? It's something to do with some ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, except that film's interesting because it's like the side character that only you can see ghosts. It's only Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg, yeah.
Yeah, for seemingly very little reason. Like
That's because her family is... She's a fake medium, but she's a real medium.
Yeah, right? She's like...
I've barely watched this movie.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, well, only Whoopi
I've
Goldberg
been too
can see
busy watching
ghosts.
Medium and Ghost Whisperer.
An average procedural from the mid-2000s.
Yeah, it's about Medium.
Well, before I turn myself into a ghost, we should probably mention the other big example of this, which is The Sixth Sense,
Oh, yeah.
Is that the one? Hang
where
on.
the kid can see dead people.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, he literally says I can see...
Oh,
I
and
see
spoiler alert,
I see dead people.
Bruce Willis was a ghost the whole time.
Oh.
You haven't seen it.
Wait, great. Thanks a whole
I
buttload.
gave you a spoiler
But
alert.
then you just said it.
You did not appear to react in any way, shape, or form to give me indication or pause to not say that
That's
thing.
fine. That film's been out forever.
It's literally
And
from
its
the
twist
90s.
is like the whole thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the one where... No, what's the movie where the whole time they think people, like, ghosts are, like, affecting their house, but it turns out they're the ghosts the whole time?
Is that Paranormal Activity?
No, it's like an older movie, and it's like... Yeah, it's like this
Paranormal
woman...
Activity 2.
No, like, old and, like, good. But, like,
Oh.
in the... Like, she's in her house, and, like, the window for some reason is, like, open. She's like, what the hell? And, like, she shuts it, and, like, things are different places. And, like...
That
they're
does
like,
sound
"What's going
familiar,
on?"
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
is
then
that
it, like...
the movie from
turns out-
1932, Gaslighting?
I don't know. Is that a joke? Why are you doing this to me?
Are you gaslighting her again?
No, because that's literally where the name comes from. It was from a movie from the 30s where people did that.
Don't
So-
gaslight me.
You're trying to reverse gaslight me, Damien. It's not going to work.
It wouldn't reverse gaslighting just be telling you the truth.
I will put a potato.
So in that
your
sense,
exhaust
I
pipe
am
if you're tricking
telling you the truth and not gaslighting you. There was a Flintstones part of this, right?
Oh, where he could see
They
the
introduced-
great Gazoo?
Yeah.
The little green
There's a little
alien?
like ghost thing that only he could see.
I thought it was
And-
an alien.
And
Yeah, it's an alien.
the most recent Superman did this as well. Like his father's ghost was appearing through some kind of techno
in
wizardry.
Man of Steel.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, he
And
was,
I'm not going to.
Oh.
He doesn't mess with the classics.
You're not sure? Actually, I watched like literally the other day that has you can see ghosts
Just as a quick side note, thank God you got me out of there because I was going to start ranting. What show, Damien?
Umbrella Academy uses.
Oh,
only-
okay, shut up. I'm only up to episode 4, and I really like this show.
Then you already know that there's a character.
I
that-
haven't heard anything yet. I haven't
Oh
watched
my
it.
god! It's like,
Oh,
come on,
it's
people.
fresh.
It's episode 1 stuff.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I
Fine,
know
say
you're
it, but I'm
talking
gonna
about
be mad about
Klaus.
it. He can see
I just
ghosts?
wanted to really jam in there that I haven't finished the show yet because I really like it, and if someone spoils it for me, I'm not.
No,
gonna
that's
be happy.
fine. I just wanted to point out that that's
Yeah, it's
still
so good, isn't it?
yeah.
And it's really funny.
This trope puts up lots of opportunities for two bits of dialogue to happen simultaneously, and then the person has to come up with a response that answers both.
Yeah,
Like, so they're talking to the ghost, but they're also talking to the person,
the other
in real
person in
life.
the room.
Like, I've always thought that's one of like the cleverest bits about using this trope.
Yeah.
In that they have to kind of like double talk and like, or they'll respond to the ghost, but it will also accidentally be a response to the person they're not paying attention to.
That's positively
Never thought about
delightful when that happens.
Okay, shall we see who can only see ghosts in what kind of film?
All right, not it.
Not it.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
I don't mind. Is this it?
Yep.
All right.
I'm wearing
Well,
the cool
yeah.
kids hat. So
All right, I'm going to go first. I'm shuffling the bits of paper. My genre for Only You Can See Ghosts is it's a comedy of errors.
All right, well,
This makes
you go.
this makes total sense.
the
Okay.
thing you exactly wanted to happen will happen.
Yeah.
your entire movie is just that.
Yeah, it's that bit over and over again for an hour and 20 minutes and then roll credits.
Jeez,
Start-
hour and
Give
20.
me
What are you
my
taking
money.
an early lunch?
What, is that too long for a comedy?
No, it's like the median movie is at least 9
No,
minutes.
comedies are real quick. They're snappy. They're one and done comedies.
Isn't 90 minutes an hour 20?
90 minutes is an hour and 30.
Oh, I don't know.
But the
An
median
hour-
movie is closer to 2 hours.
An hour is
nowadays.
60 minutes.
2 hours for a movie. This is why I don't watch movies anymore. They go for too long.
Oh, apparently the first cut of Avengers Endgame is 3 hours and 2 minutes. They're considering doing an intermission.
Oh my lordy.
I'm so hyped for it. It's going to be great. You know what else I'm hyped for, Alex?
Chocolate.
Yes, and Damien's pitch.
Okay.
Oh man, I just thought of, and I'm gonna poison the well here because I just thought of a Only You Can See Ghosts comedy of errors film that you guys may have seen. It's Drop Dead Fred.
I have not seen it.
Did you see Drop Dead Fred?
No.
It's like a kind of a childhood friend.
Uh-oh,
Like
SpaghettiOs.
kind of reappears when the person's an adult,
Yeah.
and they're like only they can see them, and they can like sometimes physically affect things, but it's
Yeah.
like literally that like in that exact genre.
I feel like there are a fair few comedy movies like that where like only the one person can see ghosts.
Well,
It's
yeah,
just like not super memorable. But I feel like there are a lot of comedies actually, now you think about it, that has that idea to it.
Yeah. Because it can lead to hilarious misunderstandings.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Such as?
So my Only You Can See Ghosts comedy of errors is going to be there is it opens in a mansion, and it's very like well-to-do, and the butler's kind of moving around, and there's some hushed tones, and the camera works its way up to a bedroom, and there's kind of a man, and he's dying, and you can see he's kind of like an eccentric kind of old man. He's got like lots of kind of wacky stuff on the walls and whatever, and he's like kind of signing his like will away, and he's doing his deathbed confession, and there's some like kind of villainous looking like smummy businessman in a suit getting like, yes, sign away your company, like sign your last will, blah blah blah.
Does he have a mustache?
Yeah, of course he has a
Come
mustache.
on,
He's a bad guy.
Sign over News Corp already. Do it.
Yes,
Do it.
yes. And then he kind of like signs some things, and he's like, "No, I want, you know what I want." And then he kind of dies, and then there's like a dong of the chiming of the bell, and it is for him that the bell has now tolled. And then it cuts to a funeral, and there are 3 kids, like now kind of adult children that rock up, and they're all quite different. So one seems more, there's a lady that seems really businessy, and one which looks a guy that looks kind of more alternative, and there's another sister who is more like looks more like fitnessy, sporty type thing. So there's 3 different ones. And they're like, but who gets the fortune? And in the will, it's like, yes, the fortune will be a series of tests.
So like like one of the options wasn't to just split it 3 ways. It's like, no, one of you get it.
No, yeah, one of you
fuck the other
one of you
two.
gets it, and also it's open for like other competitors as well.
Oh, really?
Um,
So is this really like the rat race sort of thing?
yeah.
This is Hunger Games 2.0.
Yeah.
Or like 0.2, like before Hunger Games.
0.2. Katniss on Ember.
So it's open for like other people to come through. So it's on for young and old for this guy's fortune, and he's like, rich stupid millionaire like gives away fortune for fastest in like wacky race competition, and
Local millionaire decides on frivolous competition he won't be alive to see through.
yeah, precisely. So he sets up this activity, and then it's all going to have to. And there's an evil corp who the guy at the front end of the film.
They hire Usain Bolt to do the race.
Yeah. He's like putting together a crack team of like previously
Ringers.
uninvolved specialists. Yeah, he's getting a team of ringers. And the children are all like trying to put up their own teams, like, I'll get that fortune. And then they realize that actually, like, they don't stand a chance against these ringers. They have to work together. And what's more is they're going to need some knowledge that they don't possess, because like he took some things to his grave and there's some cryptic clues and whatever. And then the youngest one like gets visited, like kind of gets real sure, like does a bunch of like drugs to console themselves and has a bit of a like kind of a there's like a hallucinogenic kind of sequence, and then it kind of accidentally raises the spirit of their departed father from the grave, and only she can see ghosts.
Wait, is this the sporty one?
Actually, this
I think
is
it's the posh one.
I thought it was
Or maybe it's the baby
It was like
one.
the indie dude. Who do you want to be the cool guy?
Actually, let's have them all do it. Let's
they
like
all
they're just a
see
bonding experience. They're like the alternative one kind of introduces into the mix and he puts it in the tea. Then they all go on this kind of like trip, and then they're like, oh, it's Dad, and he can kind of like appear and give us clues, but very briefly. So he's giving them like snatches of advice.
Also, once the shrooms, they can still see him after the trip.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stays with him.
man, I think I'm still on that tea. It's been 2 days.
Yeah, so
Just keep sipping it.
so they
Sip harder.
so basically, while they're still under the effect of these the hallucinogenics, they can like interact with him. But when they sober up, they can't speak to him anymore. So they have to keep kind of like having flashbacks. But then, of course, if they're too badly affected, they won't be able to kind of do anything.
Yeah.
So they kind of like are like alternating who's like the heaviest.
Who's on dad watch?
Yeah. But also then they start talking nonsense as well, and there's a real problem in communicating to the rest of the team like what's actually going on. So they have to keep kind of like themselves like dosed up with these like strange like spirits that these like kind of ghost berries or whatever they're
Ghost berries.
yeah, they've got the ghost jujus, like the gummy ghosts, to get themselves hepped up, and they use his kind of insights and guidance and stuff to navigate this series of tasks.
I think we're about to be arrested. Is that just me? There's like a lot.
Like a second
and they all come
siren.
So close to here.
That's
We're safe. It's fine.
They know about the ghost gummies.
They couldn't see your car. It's fine. They kept going.
Phew. And
The cops just really hate
Joke's on you. I
podcasts.
stole this car. It's different.
and they use their various strengths, because there's 3 of them. So some are good at some activities.
Some previously
And,
established strengths and
yeah, and they were
abilities.
strange, and then by the end of the race, they've kind of overcome their thing. And it's like there's Evil Corp, and they've got like all the rich kind of money stuff, and then there's like the homebrew, the kids, and they're trying to like take it more seriously, but also they're kind of like spazzing out. But there's also lots of crazy like Moomba Birdman style contestants that like appear, and like they just have a go.
They're having a red hot shot.
Yeah. Just like, why not?
People just
What's to
rocking up
lose?
and like with terrible ideas, and like just kooks coming out of the woodwork to try and
So
win this
these are
fortune.
like pretty like there's more than one activity, like it's different days or whatever.
Yeah. They hold like a series of grand games, and there's
Okay,
now we run the hedge maze, and now we like have to.
Then we
like-
swim underwater and we have
and-
to get some people.
Yeah, now
And
there's like
an egg.
we have to do a Formula 1 track, but we're using bum cars attached with like firework launchers at the front, so you can like shoot each other with fireworks and like use sparklers to distract your enemies behind you, and
Says everything.
like
And
it's
these
a,
old endangered tortoise skeletons from the house.
Yeah, so
Throw them
maybe
at
the-
your opponents.
yeah.
These shells.
So they're all ripe for like things going wrong and whatever. And then in the final chase, it comes down to the Evil
Jousting but
Cop
with
versus
motorbikes.
yeah,
And
yeah.
baguettes. Really starchy baguettes.
And some like gladiator style like arrangement,
Yeah.
like gauntlets, and they've
So
like,
the
kind of dodgy
executor of
weave.
the wheel gets to do the thumbs up, thumbs down thing.
Yeah.
But like he's wearing a toga over his suit.
Yeah, he's just some lawyer that got roped into it. He doesn't really want to be a part of
It's
it.
like he's paying my firm for this, so I will execute his will as desired.
Yeah, so there's lots of back and forth, and they keep
Ironclad
like,
will.
they keep jumping ahead, and then like things go wrong because they can't get along and they're fighting, and then inevitably in Act 3, it looks like they're doing really good and they've got their stuff sorted out, and then they start to bicker and they're like, no, like you were always the favorite, and like this is why Dad's dead, and like he wouldn't have wanted like this, and they have a falling out, and it all kind of collapses in a heap, and then Evil Corp are like,
You say Bolt's jogging up from behind.
yeah, they're
Gaining
kind of like,
on them.
their like three-legged race team like pulls up and they're like, this is why you won't beat us, we're their real heir to your tortoise, ha ha ha, wait, the other way around, or whatever. And then they speed up.
One of those two.
We're too busy winning to think up appropriate
Yeah.
burns.
yeah, we're too busy being corporate and soulless, and obviously not participating in the true spirit because we're cheating also. And then off they go.
Yeah.
And then there's like the father like, intervenes and he gives them some spiritual assistance, and it kind of like pushes them forwards and like, what? How could they run that fast in like while wearing chicken costumes? That's outrageous. And then
Holding
they
eggs, like
then they
who
get
came
it
first.
Then they get over the finish line, like, oh my god, we did it. We've all bonded and we're back to being a family. Like we can like all start to love each other again.
Yeah.
And the father's like, kind of gives them a knowing, like, wink, and kind of like, yes, this is all was planned. Ghost berries. Maybe he planted the ghost berries as well, actually.
Yeah,
Maybe
it was
there
like that one thing that got given in the will. Like
Yeah.
they each got some weird random thing that didn't make sense.
or the
so,
sneaky
like,
butler, like, put ghost berries in their tea to try and keep the
yeah.
whole thing off. And he's like,
Yeah.
yes, your father knew many secrets. Ding. Yeah.
And then they get the fortune.
And then they get the fortune, yeah.
And then they make a.
And then
theme
there's
park.
like an after the credits sequence where they're all like, there's the 3 different projects that they wanted to embark on separately, and you see them like, all 3 of them are working on all 3 of them. So one of them wants to open like a library for disadvantaged youths or whatever, and all 3 of them are there like helping out building it, and then it cuts to like the next one's project. So they're like, they've decided to do
cute.
all 3 of them all together.
It's a library with a roller coaster in it because one wanted to make a theme park.
Yeah. All right, kids, who wants to learn about ghost berries?
Yeah, get on the roller coaster. Take a book. There's like a roller coaster like book themed around it. Like, I'm learning. Dyslexia is no longer an issue for me.
There will be a quiz at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe was this like the plan of the father figure the whole time to sort of get them together again?
Yeah.
So you really Umbrella Academy this Ready Player One.
I guess so, yeah. I was almost going to do like, and then he's not dead at the end. He's actually just like watching on, but I was like,
It was
no, that
just
fucks up the
super
ghost
fake.
berries.
Yeah.
It's a ghost, but only they can see that, except he's not a ghost. But he's just really
They're
good at
just
sneaking
really high.
around.
Yeah, I feel like that would betray the trope. So I held off from that.
Oh, bless. God
Ghost
bless
berries.
America.
There we go.
Yeah, that was a wild ride from start
I
to
like
fin.
that. I feel like that could be some very funny shit. In
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I'd watch it on Netflix
I
while
don't-
eating a pizza.
Yeah, it had a start, a middle, and an end. Like everything was there. That's all you needed.
Yeah, we did it.
I laughed. Wasn't even like. But it didn't tell me what they're doing. It was still funny.
Nice.
Yeah, I think most of the trailer is like not the A team and not the B team. It's like all the C teams like coming up with ridiculous
Oh,
things.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And now like engage flamethrowers and like set them on fire, and like someone's got like a dog sled and then it like goes terribly wrong because they see a cat sled.
Someone's done a 1-to-1
Like,
cost.
who built the cat sled? That was never going to work.
Alrighty,
Damn you, Starburns.
I'll go next.
Oh yeah.
I thought you were directly referencing
No,
that.
not at all.
Okay.
Oh my! This is
That
very
also
level
named
with the
Alex.
paper.
Oh, is it? What is it? Is it
Martial arts.
only you can see ghosts? Martial arts.
All right. Well, this one writes itself.
No, I'll fuck it up and do someone else.
Got
that
a
makes
kung
no
fu
sense.
spook.
It's my favorite.
There you go. That's a name. Crouching ghost, hidden buster.
Do you do a martial art, Damien?
I did a little bit of karate
Oh.
a couple of years ago.
Karate.
Karate.
Hmm.
It goes all right.
Nice.
Yeah.
What was your favorite karate move?
All the dancey bits. They're doing the ciphers,
Oh, really?
the performative bits. Yeah, I'm not so big into the fighting. I just liked the moving around and the precision stuff. It's good. It's like slow dancing.
But with theoretical violence.
Yeah.
The best kind of violence.
Yeah, so you're on the dance floor and someone hits on your fly girl. Give them one of these. Did you do?
Did they teach you that?
Yes.
Well, okay.
The most is like school of dance. How you going with your martial arts film?
Well, not great. I just don't want to do the boring regular one that like the sensei dies and like then teaches them.
Okay.
Like I feel like that's too basic.
Well,
So I'm gonna give another go,
all right.
and this is based in
Medieval future.
no. That seems difficult. I'm already struggling as I am. Let's not bring time into it. This is Damien's pitch.
Hey. I didn't go for a historical setting.
I just assumed yours would be like Umbrella Academy, where it's more or less modern-ish, but it's sort of like deliberately anachronistic in spots, just to really archer people off a bit.
No, for some reason I was thinking 80s, just because like a lot of like those kind of like schlocky comedy.
Like before mobile phones were a thing, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still modern enough that micro.
Like, did you ever watch The Mousetrap?
No.
That's this one where these brothers inherit a factory,
Yeah, I've seen that.
but a mouse keeps screwing up their
It was
plans.
good shit. Loved it.
A mouse,
Yeah.
Yeah, a very smart mouse.
like Stuart Little style mouse.
No,
No,
just
just
a
a
regular
mouse.
mouse. Didn't speak.
Yeah.
They just like, I guess they just had a shit ton of mice and they'd just be like trying to get it to run places and like, it was probably a little bit CGI-ish or like. They, like, it was,
Alex
like, a
is
little
describing the
realistic
method of
mouse.
how they made the movie now, not the actual plot.
Yeah, but I feel like the mouse.
Yeah,
he's
two
more just,
brothers inherit a factory from their father, and they try and like jazz it back up and get it swinging again. But a single lone mouse keeps thwarting their efforts,
That seems like a bit of bad luck.
and then they try and capture the mouse or whatever. And in the end, they learn to work with the mouse, and they make like peanut butter and jam string or something.
That's a terrible lesson about pest control. What kind of example is that?
Well, it's a movie from the 80s. I don't want to alarm you, Damien, but most movies from the 80s had some pretty fucking terrible, Aesops.
Don't yuck their yum.
Like,
Don't yuck their yum.
okay, that's
Okay,
just
fair
really put that tirade I was about to go to in the pits.
Yeah, I don't think we need to beat up the 80s anymore, I guess.
Can I go now?
Yes, you can.
Yes, at
Go
any
ahead.
time.
Skeet. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt.
Where? Since when?
Yeah, well, Harley had
I'm
some hot
trying-
takes on the 80s that he wanted to
Yeah.
get off his chest.
I'm trying a new leaf. It's eucalyptus.
Turning over and... Okay. What was your old leaf out of curiosity?
Ghost berries.
Fuck Harley. Fuck Harley Iptus. Now I'm a Eurocalyptus.
Damien, did you know that Fuck Harleyoptis is an evergreen?
Yeah, this is never gonna die.
It never goes out of season.
That's a good... Yeah, that's good.
Like cheese.
That's a good joke.
Really? Yeah, Alex, do your thing.
Thank you.
Go, Alex.
Okay, so we're in like an Asian sort of area. I guess
Asia?
like China. I'm gonna
Yeah,
go with
China.
Yeah, I'll go with China. And there's this really poor family, and they send, and this is when it was like one child thing, so they got one boy, like back when they had the one child.
The one-child policy.
Policy.
Yeah, so 10 years ago.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So like, when did they? Yeah, but yeah. So it's like quite a poor family, and they start sending him to a martial arts academy. And they're doing like free, first 5 sessions are free.
Yep.
Because the martial arts academy is like really struggling because a lot of kids are just quitting. Like, and so this kid goes there, and you sort of get a sense that kids like weird things are happening, and kids are like, and then they're like, oh, we're not coming back. Like this fell on Timmy, and like this, the mats are all bad, and things
Yeah.
are falling down. And so this kid comes in. And he's like trying to learn, and he like sees out of the corner of his eye like people like walking through like the doors and stuff, and he's like doing his thing, and like he has like this really bad sense of like people watching him, but he like does his martial arts, he really likes it, and he goes home and like tells his mum how much he likes it, and she's like, oh, well, you've got 4 sessions left, like get him as much as you can, like
Get it while it's free.
yeah, that's all. Yeah, you like we can't afford it. Like
Yeah.
you only get these 4 sessions. So he goes back the next week, and while he's there, he sees a person push over a like big statue or something and like hit a kid, and they're like crying, and like he sees the person, but they're dressed in like oldie like martial arts gear, but like old style martial arts gear.
Yep.
Like black and,
And they're
white.
like, what the hell? This statue just fell over for no reason. But he's like, and this little kid who's like quiet and poor, like doesn't say anything. But he's like, I saw that person, and somehow that's portrayed in a movie
In
way.
a visual
Yeah. And
medium.
he's like, what are you talking, like the person, like he's standing there like watching us right now, he's standing right there, but everyone's like, what happened, like how did this fall? And so the kid's like broken his arm, and the mum's like, we're never coming back, this is the worst, we're telling everyone. And the guy's like, I don't know why this is happening. And this kid's like watching this person, he's like happy with himself, but like he seems quite evil, and he like walks out into the back room, and this kid's like, this is weird. And then they go home, and when he comes back the third time, the thing tries to like pull the like safety mat underneath him, like the ghost guy, or what, you know, the person he can only see, like tries to pull the mat out from underneath the kid, and the kid's like, what are you doing? And the guy's like, oh, like I didn't realize you could see me, sort of thing, but like still in an evil sort of way, not that really stressed. And he's like why are you doing this sort of thing? And he's like, this is mine, like you don't have respect for this, like this is like too, like maybe the dojo guy's like really nice and like loving, and this guy's like, no, this is meant to be like cracked down hard, like, there's no respect here, like get out of my dojo sort of thing. And he like knocks something over, and everyone's like, what the heck? And like, oh, I know, yeah, knocks it over. And so the dojo guy blames this kid, and he's like, get out, like stop messing with this stuff, like that's not good enough. So he like goes out the back, and he's like looking up, and he like sees the guy in the window, and he's like, oh my god, he's like staring at him and like looking down, and he's like, well, I'm gonna be serious, like I love martial arts, this is my favorite thing, like I'm gonna prove it, like prove this ghost, because I think the kid's like, you know, 7, doesn't understand it's a ghost. And so he goes home, and he's like practicing really hard, and he comes back, and the ghost's there again, and he like somehow like is like, I'm gonna show you, like I can be like serious, this is my thing. And the ghost like whatever, and like sort of watches him and like walks away, but you can see that he's still sort of like there. And the guy's like, wow, you're getting really better, like you've only got 1 session left, like how would you feel if I gave you like more sessions for like half price or something? And he goes back and tells his mum, and she's like, no, we can't afford it, too bad. So he goes back like the 5th time, and he like tells him, he's like, no, I'm sorry, like this is my thing, like thanks master, I've like learnt so much. And he's like, oh well, there's like a tournament in like this long, and he like gives the flyer to the mum when she comes, picks him up, and she's like, oh, like he can, like he's probably good enough, it's just like a beginner thing, I think he might have fun sort of thing, like even if it's just to finish off this 5 sessions. And the ghost thing's like sort of watching him and like seeing him, and it like follows him home, but he doesn't realize. And he's like, in the next day, he's like outside like trying to punch a tree, and the ghost thing's like there, and he's like, you are, you know, you're worthy or whatever. And he's like teaching him how to do this stuff.
Oh, so he becomes his sensei.
Yeah. And so he's like, and this kid doesn't understand it's a ghost. Like he still like thinks it's just, this person.
Just some rando.
Yeah, and he's like telling mum, he's like, oh, you know, one of the senseis from like maybe it's like the dad of this sensei or something like that. He's like, oh, the master sensei, like he's come, and he's like giving me lessons, like he came, and he's like telling me over the fence or something, like, and he's giving me this advice, like, look, I can do all this cool stuff. And it like keeps going, and then he gets to the tournament, and like the ghost guy's there, and he's like killing it, and it like comes out in the thing. This is when he finds out that it's like the dad, because he like says it to the actual guy because he's there, and he's like, oh, good job, kid. And he's like, oh, like blah 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 told me. And he's like, what do you mean? And he's like been in there the whole time.
Blah blah blah's been dead for 30 years.
Yeah, like I don't think he tells the kid, but he's like, what the hell, like, this is so weird.
It's like, this kid's so high.
And he like sees the kid like talking to no one, and he like comes up, and he's like speaking, he's like, oh, like who are you talking to? He's like, I'm speaking to your father. But like, and he's like, oh, and then like somehow they have this like conversation throughout using the kid, and like so the dad and the son can have like a heartfelt conversation of like, you're a disappointment to me, this is not how this is meant to run.
So
Really
heartfelt.
Yeah, like really hard. No, but then the guys, but that's how it starts.
Yeah.
But then like the younger son's like, well, this is how it works now, like this is how I care about children, and it, like becomes to this point where he's like not happy with it, but he's like, all right, I'm gonna leave you alone, like do this, like I should have trusted you, like maybe something like that. He's like, you never gave me the chance, like we don't always have to do it your way, I tried doing that and it didn't work, like this is my way and I love doing it like this, like. And so he's like, all right, I'm gonna leave you alone, and he like, but like in a loving way, he's like,
Yeah.
you're right, like this is your life now. And he like, you know, disappears forever.
Oh,
He like
I only
disappears.
wanted you to take control of your life. I'll
Yeah,
stop
he-
trying to kill your students now. Bye.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. He's like, you know what, you're right. Like, this isn't mine anymore.
Like he stood up to him.
Yeah, and then the guy respected him. And he like sort of like disappeared, and the
So
kid's
let him
like,
let go.
yeah. And so the kid is like wins the tournament for like the junior learners, and the guy's like, wow, like some random guy sponsors him. Like sponsors like, oh, you know, here, like here's this amount of money, and so he gets to train with this guy.
Yeah.
And then they do like a flashback like 10 years later, and he's like winning like ultimate tournaments.
Yeah,
and
like
stuff.
he's
And
the
they-
best.
Yeah, and they
around.
say, we'll like do some fake thing.
He's the best.
Turn your microphone off,
The best.
both of you. I'm
is
having none of this.
And is the ghost like in the audience, kind of like doing a knowing clap?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking like you never see the ghost again, but they do like a thing of like him and like the ghosts watching from the doorway, and he'd be
Oh, like the
away.
last frame of the movie, they take the snapshot of them holding up the karate trophy,
Yeah, and the ghost, like, in the
and the ghost in the
background.
back of the photo.
Yeah, like
and
things
just
like that. Yeah.
like looking approvingly.
like happy, yeah, like
Mm.
yeah, and so
Sensible
and then, like
nod.
and then it's like based on a true like it's bullshit, and like this is some
no.
famous like martial art, but like completely like be like this famous martial art. He won all these things and became this man, and like you know at the end where they say and now this person's doing this and this person's that, like make it all up. Be like now he's he's the
and
number
that
one
dad's
trophy
name,
winner.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
There could be you could foreshadow the fact that the dad has returned, because he could talk about like how there's like a particular move or style or like a way of performing a move
Yeah.
that he didn't teach the son, but he taught this new kid, and the new kid
Yeah.
performed at the beginners thing, and
Yeah, he,
everyone
like,
was
never
like,
said he was,
"That's
like,
a
worthy
curious
of
way
the-
of like
Yeah.
performing that kick. I haven't seen a kick like that in 40
Serious.
years."
Steve did it.
Yeah, and he's like,
I
"Oh,
have not
that's
seen the Steve kick since Steve kicked 40 years ago this very night.
yeah." Like stylistically, it's like a signature thing. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Damn it! I accidentally went back to the martial arts being the dope.
Yeah,
Because
but-
originally in my head, I wanted to be like people from like a martial arts army were like possessing the area, and there was a bunch of them. Then I like went
Martial army.
I don't know, but yeah, it was like so there was like lots of the army, and they were like angry because they died in war.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
That's where I was gonna go with it, but then I changed my mind halfway through.
Yeah.
no, it's fine.
That was good. I liked it.
But yeah,
I'd watch it if the choreography was good and
My
the
only
cinematography
note,
was
and
good.
it's like, you know,
the script was good.
call me pedantic, but my only note is like the ghost is in the dojo, right? This is the ghost of like a martial arts like master,
yeah.
and he's in the dojo, and he's like, all right, I have the ability to interact with things in the physical world, and I want to hurt these children, and I'm a martial arts master. I'm definitely going to push this statue.
He can't interact with living things.
Okay.
He can
Yeah.
only interact with non-animate
Sure.
matter.
Because I was like,
Like,
why isn't he
possess
just like
people.
Kicking people in the fucking face.
kicking them, like
Yeah, no.
directly?
Well, yeah.
It's got to be like, it got it low key, otherwise he'll get like arrested.
He'll
Yeah,
get
exactly.
ghost busted.
Yeah,
The
the ghost plays about
The
like, you're
senior
being
ghost
too
sergeant.
spooky, buddy. You're
Like it's a joke, but someone comes around with one of those chain things from church and some incense. Whew, your ghost is gone.
your ghost is cooked.
Your ghost
we'll
is
sage the
ghosted.
shit out of this house.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Are those called a sensor? No.
Yeah, the sensor.
Yeah, that's it. Cool. I know words and stuff.
I didn't hate that. All right.
That's the benchmark.
The Tropies and the Jets.
Genre. Dun.
The
Dun,
genres
dun,
and the
dun.
Jets.
Only you can see genres.
I don't have a joke for that.
Nobody does.
Uh,
Oh.
Okay, mine is experimental / art film.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's free license, really. Come on.
It's just like a choose your own adventure, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um.
Off you go. Let's see something really off the wall.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
push the envelope. Let's get weird.
I think I've got.
It's
A,
recorded upside down the whole time.
well,
We are yeah.
thank you,
It's
Mr.
backwards,
Lynch.
not upside down.
Well, how do you speak upside down, Alex?
No, as
Well,
in-
we're
Go-
Australians.
upside
We
down.
speak upside down all the time.
Oh, that's true enough.
I don't even know.
Because we're on the underneath of this.
We're on
flat
the antipodes.
It's flat, idiots. Duh. We're just over there.
earth. You flatheads.
Yeah. We're just as up as everyone else. Us, the flat earther, who knows?
All right. Do you two want me to include like the sort of stereotypical art filmy where it's like makes no sense, or do you want me to just?
No.
Okay, so you just want an out there plot.
Yeah, just
Yeah, just super cooked. Absolutely cooked plot.
All right, fuck it, I
Things-
can do that.
Things that normal people aren't allowed to say.
Yeah, art film like
As in, like anything happens in it,
Yeah, anything
Yeah.
goes.
but not like
Not
there's
like-
a clown flipping a pancake while someone sobs in the corner.
yeah, not like Eraserhead.
A what?
Eraserhead?
I haven't seen Eraserhead. Sorry, I've seen some of David Lynch's other works, so I think I can sort of
Nah,
get-
you ain't seen shit unless you've seen Eraserhead.
I saw Mulholland Drive.
You ain't seen shit.
All right, fair enough. Mulholland Drive was pretty freaky though.
Mulholland Drive at least kept it together for the first half. And I was like, I can do this. I can make a full film. And everyone's like, we believe in you, David Lynch. Like, you've got this, buddy. And he's like, yes, I'm going to have characters and a plot, and there's going to be sequencing, and
And
things
then
are going to
he hit his
happen one
head.
after the other. And then halfway through, he's like, oh, it's happening. It's a full moon. I'm transforming. Ah! And then it just goes to shit.
David Lynch. I heart Twin Peaks. All right, your werewolfy thing's given me an idea.
Oh, God.
All right. So there's this young couple. They're young in love. And the dude's going to propose to the lady.
Uh-huh.
But he's like, I've never really left the country. Let's go to a far-flung place and a holiday and have an adventure. And she's
Where are we at the moment?
okay, fuck it. David Lynch, we're in just outside of Seattle, Oregon. Portland, Oregon. Seattle's in Washington, Harley. God damn it. God damn it, Harley!
So we're in America?
Yeah.
Okay.
America. Fuck yeah! So, they...
Makes sense. They've never left the country then.
Being not but 3 hours from Vancouver, they've never left the country.
They're in,
Yeah.
they're in
Otherwise, they
insular-
would have been to Bali at least twice if they're from Australia.
Yeah,
That's every Australian
Australians.
has. Except for me.
Except Harley.
Yeah, all
You
right.
haven't been to Bali?
No.
We've covered this.
I've never left the country.
All right.
Yeah, I know.
Continue.
I've not got the money for it.
When- how are
Donate
you
to Harley's
supposed to get,
Patreon to send him to Bali.
How have you? So you never had Bali belly and wanted to die?
No.
Well,
Me either. Actually, I've never got it.
I've never had Bali belly. I wanted to die, but that was unrelated.
That's every day.
N real
Yeah.
N plus 2 me.
Today, old friend.
All right. See, this is why my pitches take so long. Anyway, so they have a montage. They get in the car. They leave their little house in Portland, Oregon, on the outskirts. Jump a plane and fly all the way to Weepery. And
Weepery.
Wee-wee.
what do they call it?
Weepery? Gaypery.
Gaypery.
Yeah.
Does that mean something?
It means happy Paris.
Oh, yeah, they fly all the way to Gaypery. And so he's like doing the whole, like they do some touristy things, like they throw croissants at each other and then they ascend the Eiffel
Like,
Tower.
in discus form.
Do they wait 6 hours for the elevator, or do they just go up the stairs?
The first one, then the other. And then they're at the top and it's a,
That seems like a waste of a day.
well, you got to come back down. And then
it's a film about an exotic locale. There are no crowds. They're totally misrepresenting what the tourist experience is like.
they go to the top and it's midnight, and at the stroke of midnight he's like, mademoiselle, my dearest, my truest love,
Becky.
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 Becky with hair so beautiful and
She's bald. Alopecia.
laugh so long. Would you like to marry me this beautiful night? And she's like, no. What the fuck would I marry you? I was just here for a fucking free vacation.
Oh, that kind of ruined the mood, Becky.
Also,
Becky's a bitch.
She-
since
say I
we're
think about it.
up here at the
Becky,
top
please.
of Eiffel Tower alone,
Uh-oh. Becky, no.
she turns into a werewolf and bites
Oh.
him.
Oh, that's all
I
right.
thought he was going to push Becky off the Eiffel Tower.
No. And she's like, oh, this blood tastes terrible. Oh, you're disgusting. And she
AIDS.
just jumps over the barrier on the side of the Eiffel Tower and disappears into the night.
Is it... So, Becky, at this point, is an American werewolf in Paris?
Yes. Well, we never established a nationality, but let's just say yes and move on. Anyway, so he's lying there in a pool of his own blood and disappointment, but he's not mortally injured.
Did he keep the ring, or has Becky got that now?
It's lying in his outstretched palm.
Oh.
And he's just
that a
staring up at
one-shot?
the moon.
Alex.
Okay, Alex, the whole movie's a one
Alex.
shot. That's the experimental part. It's like Birdman, and it's like all one shot.
The flight over is
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
longest part of the movie because it's actually the
Oh no, we
whole
can fast
flight.
forward.
No, it's in real time.
No, real time.
Becky's not the only one with a taste for blood. Alex has now realised it's time to pick on Harley.
This movie goes for 108
They
hours
travel by map.
because apparently the hour 20 isn't good enough for you. 102 hours.
Look, an hour 20 is good if you know how to use it, like Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Anyway, so he's lying there looking at the outstretched moon,
Go on, Becca,
and
please.
all the werewolf venom is coursing through his veins, but instead of turning him into a werewolf, it just really messes with his head. Like blood starts pouring out of his ears and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
Thinking of it.
he's like, oh God, this is the worst night of my life. No one in history has ever had it worse. And then the moon says him, sorry, buddy, you're at least number 2 on the list. And he's like, what the fuck? And then the moon, who's a ghost, like there's a ghost face on the moon.
Oh, Ghost Moon.
Ghost Moon is looking down at him like, boy, you've had a really rough night, haven't you? He's like, yes, the moon's talking to me. Somehow not the worst thing that's happened to me tonight. And the moon's like, yeah, although you should count yourself lucky. Most people would be either dead or a werewolf in your position. And he's like, actually, yeah, that's a good point. I'm not a werewolf, but the moon's talking to me. He's like, yeah. And it's just not acknowledged, like, how the transformation didn't work.
Do werewolves make other werewolves when they bite people?
In this continuity, yes.
Yeah, right.
Except for this
yeah,
guy.
right.
Okay. I don't know. Is that a thing in werewolf lore, just quickly?
Yeah,
It is?
generally speaking.
Does it have to be like the head werewolf?
Well,
Or
that
it's like-
depends on the individual mythology, but if a
So when
werewolf...
werewolves feed on people, they're just making more werewolves.
if they don't kill them.
That seems not
Oh,
very
yeah,
sustainable.
that's it. Yeah, like if
Yeah.
they don't die, they become a werewolf. But normally
next full
they
moon.
eat them up. Nom nom nom. Dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a jogger finds
Same
their
as
body.
vampires. Haven't you seen Twilight?
Well,
I've heard that. I've heard.
isn't that a special secret vampire bite that does that?
No, I think it was like just you can't suck all the blood out. I'm pretty sure. Like if they suck all the blood out, then you're dead. But if they stop, I don't know. I haven't actually
vampires
seen the
do
movie.
definitely-
I'm pretty sure what they said because that was an issue. Because he's like, yes, fucking blood, yum. But he's like, no, but I love her, so I can't suck her blood. And then she has a vampire baby or something.
Oh. I'm not
No?
up with the Twilight.
If you have
I need to
questions...
watch. I'll watch the movie and I'll come back and
Well,
I'll explain.
yeah, report back.
Yeah.
If you have questions, just ask my sister. She hates Twilight, but she did the research. She read all of it. So,
She read it so she can hate it and be
specifically
informed to hate
and
it.
correctly.
Yeah.
Well, like, that's really the burden of, proof. You got to
I'm
understand
guessing that's what you've
something.
done with the Bible. You just seem like that sort of person.
I mean, I read chunks of the Bible because I
Yeah,
went to a
I thought so.
Catholic primary school. But I'm also not out here
Taking it as,
hating
like,
on religion.
No comment.
Ooh,
I'm just personally irreligious.
I feel attacked.
All right. So what happened to Mr. Not werewolf?
Yeah, so he's just lying on the top floor of the Eiffel Tower, ring in hand, and the moon's like, yep,
And Becky's
tough
off
breaks,
a
buddy.
wooing.
Yep, just later we hear,
Yeah.
dun 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 dun. Sorry, that was Werewolves from London. Anyway,
Yeah. Becky's hitting up
she
the
takes
shops.
I'll cut to, and Becky's just on the tunnel, the channel, the train that goes under
Yeah.
the channel, and she's just listening to Werewolves in London on an iPod, going like, "Yep, can't wait for that to be me." Meanwhile,
Shopping for werewolf-sized clothes on the Champs-Élysées.
yeah. Meanwhile, Brian's just talking to the moon still. And
Does it have a face or is it just
yeah,
a
it has
voice?
it's a ghost face
So
on the
like
moon.
Teletubbies the sun?
Yeah, kinda.
Oh, love it. Living for it.
We-
Or like the Bear in the Big Blue House where it had the moon face.
Both.
It's a bit of a mixture.
Yep.
Or Mighty Bush, the moon.
It just keeps changing each time. It's a different type of
Yes,
face.
yes, no, and yes, respectively.
I don't know.
And
That was a note
he's
of
like,
Mighty Bush. Please bring it home.
I haven't seen Mighty Bush.
It has a-
I think it was just a specific fuck you.
No, I just haven't seen Mighty Bush. Sorry.
No.
So Brian's lying on the
Like
ground. He's
Taylor.
like, "How can I hear you, Moon?" And
What's the name of the man?
in the moon,
No, the man.
Brian.
Brian.
Brian and
Yeah.
Becky.
Brian and Becky.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Ugh. That was never going to work.
That's way, yeah.
Come on, Brian.
That's way too close to names. That's never going to work.
Thank you, the Alex half of Alex.
I just mathematically simplify them to two Alex. Yeah. So he's like, "How can I hear you, man, on the moon?" And he's like, "Well, the vampire, the werewolf venom done fucked your brain up, so it made you able to receive my messages on a wavelength most humans can't hear." And he's like, "Okay, well, I can hear you, so I guess that checks out." Anyway,
Can
what's
you also
your deal?
now see the colour Slurple?
No, Alex,
new
stop.
colour.
No, bad, Alex, bad.
That sounds awesome.
No, Alex, simmer down.
Bok bok.
So
I think Alex has also had some werewolf juice.
Brian is like, "Okay, well, if I'm only the second worst night in history, what's your fucking deal, man, on the moon?" And the man on the moon is like, my name is Richard Michael Hargraves. And I was exiled to the moon by Richard Milhouse Nixon as part of the space program. We didn't go to the moon to beat the Russians. We did it so that bastard could exile me here. And I died 10 years ago this very night.
What?
And
What?
It's
How
experimental.
does this fit in with the werewolf storyline?
I don't think any of this makes sense with anything.
Okay.
And
Harley's just flushed his experimental / art film genre in front of me as if this explains this nonsense.
I specifically asked you at the start, can I just have a weird plot that jumps around and around? And you said, yes, that's exactly what I want. And now I've given you what you want and you're
I'm pretty sure you
complaining.
said
I'm
no,
not
it had to
complaining.
make
I'm
sense.
liking this. Go on.
All right, Mr.
Stop
Complainer.
hitting me.
He's trying to eat his words.
Trying to backpedal.
You put that that.
What, are you
anger
doing the
back in your
Tour de
mustache,
France in
mister?
reverse because you're backpedaling so hard?
All right, calm down.
So he's like, well, what do you want me to do about it? And he's like, I need you to get the word out there because I have a dark, dark secret, which is why I'm up here. And also I have a daughter. If you could let her know that I existed, that'd be cool too. And Brian's like, well, I've
I
got...
didn't know that I existed.
Yeah,
That her father
like-
existed.
like who he was.
Okay, got ya.
It's like,
and is.
Yeah.
Moon Ghost.
yeah.
Moon.
And he's like, okay, well, I don't really have any plans for the next rest of my life since my girlfriend.
Is he feeling better after he got savaged by this werewolf? Is he much recovered?
No, he hasn't recovered. He's still lying in a puddle of his own blood.
Ugh.
And he just picks himself up and dusts himself off and starts trudging down the stairs. He's like, all right, Moon, well, what do I do first? Well, you need to fly back to my house. Where's your house? It's in Greater Virginia. He's like, oh, fuck's sake. All right. So he goes back to this guy's house, and it's still there. But there's some security cameras that Brian didn't notice. And we cut back to CIA headquarters, and someone stares up from their clipboard, looks at the monitor, pokes the screen, and just turns their hand into a fist and slams down on a giant big red button. And the head of the CIA is like, oh, for fuck's sake, paying for Nixon's mistakes 30 to 40 years later. God damn it. And so they assemble a crack team in a boardroom. It's like, who the fuck is this guy? We have to go and get him. And then they're like, why don't we just bomb the house with our drones? And he's like, yeah, okay. So he does that. And as the drones are lining, Brian trips into... Like, he looks at a photo and it triggers a hidden elevator and he starts to go down deeper into the house.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to Richard Michael Hargraves' secret study. And then the house is drone bombed, but Brian doesn't notice any of this in a hilarious little scene.
Yeah, because he's got a fallout bunker because it was built during the Cold War.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that totally scans. Yeah.
And he's going through his files
See, I can be helpful.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll accept it. Tick that box.
and he's like,
And
Everything
it-
else has made so much sense so far, so we've got to be critical about the elevator.
and it's been hardened against werewolf attacks because werewolves exist.
yeah.
Yeah, it can no longer hear the woos.
And I'm going to set this in 2006.
I don't
Sure.
remember that year.
Just the whole year gone.
Yeah, I don't know. Was Green Day big then?
Yeah, they were about to release their album 21st Century Breakdown after the worldwide success of American Idiot.
People were walking around in t-shirts being like,
With Dementos on them? Was that 2006?
Dementos?
no, with like
Little-
jokes about MySpace being in my top 8.
Oh, yeah.
That was like the hot thing.
Yeah.
Being in people's top 8.
2006. I would have been in early age high school, I think. So I probably was
12 years ago.
wearing the Dementos.
13 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not good with math.
Anyway. So he learns the terrible, terrible secret.
Dementies is what I was trying to say.
Oh, man. I thought you were
What
talking
are
about
they-
Dementors from Harry Potter. I was like, I'm so lost about
I'm
this.
actually more confused because I thought you did mean Dementors.
No, Harley or what? Not Harley. It was all those shirts that had little Dementies on them, and it was skulls and
the
crossbones
fake
and stuff.
diamond thing?
Yeah.
little
Oh.
bejeweled-
Yeah,
Yeah, little studs.
bedazzled and stuff.
Right, okay, sure.
Yeah.
So he flips through the thing and he learns the terrible, terrible secret of Richard Milhouse Nixon is still the president because all the presidents in history, they've been a shapeshifter.
Oh.
He just plays all sides, and whoever gets elected stays in power. Just shifts face. Just assumes the face of
So he's
whoever's
like,
presidential
The moon
candidate
guy,
wins.
or
Yeah.
is this-
No, sorry, that's the other guy, the guy who exiled him to the moon.
Okay, yeah. You shouldn't have given them the
So
same name.
when the old president is like, oh, a newly elected president is coming to power, like,
Yep.
yes, they step into the office for a quick one-on-onesies.
Yep.
And he's just like, he does him in and
Yeah.
turns into his new shape.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dastardly.
Yep. And he rides the elevator back out, and he just looks at the smoldering rooms of the house, and he's like, I hope I didn't do that. Shit. And the man on the moon, because it's nighttime, is like, so you know the terrible secret. And he's like, yes, I do, but I don't know what to do about it. And he's like, oh, shit, I hadn't thought that far through. I thought the big reveal would really just, set your heart in motion. And he's like, well, I really miss Becky. And the man
No, we're
is
done
like,
with Becky. Come on.
Becky beat
Well,
his
no, yeah, but
face.
he's...
She, like, dissed him. She didn't even take the ring and think about it. Come on.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but he's irrational. He was in
The
love.
heart wants what the heart wants.
Yeah.
No, she a were bitch.
We are aware
We
of
cut
how
back
much
to
of a-
London for a hot second, and she's got a Chinese menu in her hands. And then we cut back. Anyway,
I get that.
thank
I
you.
don't.
It's a lot.
Just keep going.
Don't even trip.
This is already going quite long.
Oh my God. Through no fault of my own. And
Okay.
Is this... Are we going to have a moon collides with the Earth?
I'm trying desperately not to do that.
Oh. Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. We'll explain that later, Alex. Don't worry.
I'm indifferent.
Wow.
God.
That's the meanest thing you've ever
I'm
said.
trying to need counseling now. Gosh.
At least before you cared.
You cared enough to listen and
Like
jab
you-
specifically.
Like
Listening?
you had contempt at least. Now he's just beneath notice. Oofed.
Anyway, so this is halfway through the movie, and he's like, well, look, I'm not really going to
Halfway
take
through the movie.
down the president of the United States, so I'm just going to go find your daughter for you.
Yep.
And anyway, he goes and finds his daughter while the CIA keeps trying to assassinate him by, like, missing him by that much.
And it's Becky?
No.
Oh.
No,
Well,
it's a
let's-
new character.
Let's include another character.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Debbie,
Uh-huh.
who is just an unassuming small-town gal in America dreaming of having, like, a, solid life, except by the facts of the movie, she's in her mid-30s now. So she's kind of living her best life, but it's kind of a peaceful life. And then Brian so we start seeing this from her perspective, and Brian just shows up all hag, and he's like, boy, do I have a fucking story for you. And she does not believe him. None of this makes sense. Werewolves aren't real. The man in the moon is my father and a ghost. He was exiled there by Richard Nixon. None of this makes sense. And then they've been arguing so long that it's nighttime that he just bites her. He's like, well, it worked for me. And bites her. And she's like, what the fuck? And she just punches him.
Yeah, that's assault.
Yeah, a battery even. And then she can't see the man in the moon because only he can see ghosts.
Uh-huh.
And the man in the moon is like, well, look, to earn my daughter's love, because she's actually kind of into you probably, and
What?
this is the man in the moon, and to avenge me, I think you're going to have to show the true face of the evil president to the world. And the guy's like, well, sure, I'm in this far.
I think he missed the chance with the daughter when he bit her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That ship has
But the
sailed.
man in the moon is like manipulating him a tiny bit to try and like bridge the gap. So he's like, yeah, no, she'll come around, she'll forgive
Yeah,
you.
random guy like bleeding from the neck, being like, your father's a ghost and the moon. Also, I'm biting you. That is exactly no one's kink. Exactly one's.
No one's
We did a
fantasizing for that.
poll and
Yeah.
0%.
We asked every human on Earth,
Yeah,
not one.
it's a no from me.
So the guy in the CIA is like, oh, fuck this, that's it. Release the vampires. And the vampires are like the bats from Wizard of Oz. They swarm into the night and come after
Oh,
him.
they're like the
monkeys.
monkeys.
Yeah,
the Wheelers.
sure.
Or the,
Oh, the Wheelers is fucking scary.
And so
Gave me nightmares for years.
there's a montage of him killing vampires in an old library as he finds older and older books to try and find the MacGuffin to kill the president.
uh-huh.
And finally, they figure out the MacGuffin, and it's going to be like an old school crossbow, but has like a vial of weird liquid in it, some Gatorade looking shit. Anyway, so George W. Bush is scheduled to give a speak in Texas somewhere, and Brian shows up. And through the Man in the Moon and Brian manipulating her, his daughter's also there. And then, like, there's terse, heisty stuff as he tries to get in position to shoot the president. And he does. The vial splashes on George W.'s face, and he's like, "Oh, what the hell was that? Ah, I'm burning. Someone help me." And then the Secret Service swarm the stage and, like, start trying to find Brian. But then George Bush comes up. He's like, how's my face? Except he looks like Clinton now. And then everyone's like, oh my God, what the hell? And he's like,
Oh, and the classic shapeshifter thing.
Yeah.
Like when they're injured, they revert to their previous forms.
And he's like, no, this is what I look like. And his face just sloughs off, and he's George H.W. Bush.
And they're like, that's better. Like, that we can live with.
And then Reagan, and then he just keeps going back and back and back and back all the way.
Until he gets to Nixon. How deep does this go?
And then, well, it goes back to Nixon, but then we get the exchange of, Aru, fuck you, Moon Man! I put you up there so you couldn't do this! And then he just keeps going back all the way to Washington. Meanwhile, the lady's like, wow, that guy who bit me was somehow also right about this. That doesn't... What? Anyway, so she's like, I need to go find that person, have a stern conversation with him. And he...
Zero people are into this kink.
Yeah. This guy that assaulted me also now killed the president. I'm hot and ready.
Oh, yeah. Washington, once it gets to Washington, we have a fun little moment. I cannot tell a lie. I'm dying. And then dies.
So,
Yeah. And then we cut back to Brian, who's just full on legging it, just like running away. He's like, oh my God, I just killed all the presidents of America. That's like super treason or something.
mega reason.
Oh, not quite 1,000, but yeah.
And the shapeshifter is the bad guy, right? Like, if he was actually Abraham Lincoln and George Washington and all those good presidents.
Some of them were kind of good.
Yeah.
He's like...
He was even the ones that got assassinated.
So is he even the bad guy? I think he's kind of the good guy.
That's the thing. He's the morally ambiguous guy because it's not his story. He's
just a naughty boy. Do nothing into it. It's experimental, and this experiment, it's not getting funding. It was inconclusive results.
Yeah. Anyway, so the lady catches up to him and is like, hey, you, that weird person, I knew you'd be here. Did you do that? And he's like, I'm not going to admit to that. And then hides a crossbow behind his back. And she's like, oh, boy, do I have some words for you. And then suddenly the Secret Service show up and just start shooting. Anyway, the dust settles and she's dead and he's alive because she was in the way of all the bullets and stuff. And...
Oh.
Shit, Secret Service. They need to work on the aim.
well, if you think about the Kennedy assassination, yeah. Wink, wink, nod,
They're
nod.
all drunk.
No, but like...
They're hungover.
But now we know that he didn't die for that, right? So...
And her ghost
true.
leaves her body and goes
So
up to
many
the moon and has a reunion with Moon Dad.
Oh, it goes to the moon?
Yeah.
Wait, why does her soul go to the moon when he had to be sent there in a rocket?
Well, he was sent there in the rocket and he died on the moon because Nixon exiled him there for 30 years before he died.
Yeah.
And then she's like, what? You're my dad? And he's like, yeah, I did all this just so we could be together. And she's like,
Ew, weird.
you had me killed! And he's like, yeah, so we could be together forever.
Wait, that was his long con?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
god. What?
And then meanwhile, we cut back to Earth and the sun is setting on Brian. And he's like, Moon Man, could you tell me what to do now? And just nothing. Just nothing from the Moon Man. The end? The end. I think the charade's gone on long enough.
Yeah, me too.
Interesting if true.
Interesting is a word for it.
Interesting that Becky didn't
I have
make a return.
others. Yeah. Becky.
I really thought that would circle around.
I thought anything would circle around.
Yeah, the werewolves.
It's
Yeah.
experimental, you guys.
Oh, it was well experimental. I think you were doing something experimental when you thought of it.
Experimenting?
I meant drugs.
Well,
Oh.
you had a character that only him could see ghosts.
But he could only see the moon,
I liked-
apparently. He's the only one in the world that could see the moon.
The moon ghost on the moon.
The moon.
I liked the idea of the moon as a ghost.
Yeah, I was happy with that.
Yeah.
I was, in the experimental aspect, I was just trying to sort of play with, like, who's the antagonist and who's the protagonist of the piece. Because, like, Brian's kind of the main character, but he doesn't really do anything. He just does whatever the Moon Man says. So he's sort of more of a vessel for the Moon Man to be the protagonist. But then, like, it's more ambiguous as well, because, like, the Super All the President's shapeshifter person wasn't necessarily a bad guy. Like, you were right. They were Lincoln and Washington and the good ones, and then also the terrible ones, like Reagan. And...
Reagan goes all right.
Oh, yeah. Let me just trickle down all this praise for Reagan.
What? Why are we on politics? Let's move on from this. We've already been talking about it for an hour and a half while you did your pitch.
So, yeah, no, that's what I was trying to experiment with, and...
And you tried, and that's what
I was
experimenting is about.
hoping to get you guys back on board by the end.
Oh boy,
It sounds like
we already swam to shore.
Yeah. I've built a new raft and we're heading off in another direction.
guys.
We were sailed off to Gay Paris
Yeah.
to go hunt Becky.
Yeah,
She's in London now.
London's calling.
Oh,
Well, I think that'll do it for today's episode of Surprise Synopses.
that's a whole lot of pitch.
Yes. Quick shout out to Kurt, who listened to the show, gave me some feedback, and then said Damien's gun story from episode 1 was his favourite synopsis.
Oh, hi Kurt, thanks.
And then many weeks later gave me much more detailed feedback that I really appreciate you giving to us, but I'm not sure it's relevant.
Is this Kurt?
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Emily, because I think she listens way more than Kurt.
Oh, she definitely does.
So the real shout outs to Emily.
Yeah, but I haven't
Kurt,
talked to Emily in a little while
no
about
offense,
it.
but a little bit of a, F you. A little bit.
Oh, rude.
Yeah. Even as I say it, I feel bad. But I feel like Emily's shout out should have gone first.
Well,
Hi Emily.
I haven't
Yeah.
talked to Emily about the show recently.
No, too
Whose
bad.
fault's
Too
Asked
late.
her,
Who faults that? Whose fault is that?
Who fault that?
Yeah. Who fault that?
the last time I talked to her about the show, we were waiting for it to come out on iTunes. So as soon as I was going to talk to her again,
So she was a pre-fan.
yes,
That's dedication. Emily
Yeah.
MVP.
that's why I was going to give her a nice big shout out when I found out what her favorite fucking synopsis was.
Well,
we
she
just
can
stop
have
it?
two.
Can we start this whole shout out again?
No.
No.
Oh my god.
So Kurt,
you're
hope you
fine.
enjoy your shout out, buddy.
Now Mummy and Daddy are fighting. Thanks, Kurt. Why don't you both shut up?
No.
In
Oh.
a
Never.
fun
Damn it, Becky.
segue, Kurt was on season 1 of Case Notes. Alex Gabbett's Case Notes is
Kurt, good boy.
played Ben Williams.
Was he the murderer?
No.
Was he the murdy?
No, he was the dopey husband.
Murdy.
The dopey husband. Oh,
Yeah.
Kurt. No, you're not. You're lovely.
Well, this was before he was married.
Never let him tell you anything different.
That was from his first marriage.
Wait, we're not allowed to
Ooh.
talk about that.
Oh.
Oh,
Spill the tea.
Alex Gabbett's Case Notes is racing towards its exciting conclusion. You can listen to that and this on waterfallstories.com, on Spotify, on podcasts, on iTunes. Listen to it on YouTube because we make a little video to go with it. There's a straw poll in the comments where you can vote for your favorite synopsis, whether it was Alex's martial arts thing, whatever Damien did, because
we
that
all
was an
did
hour
martial
ago,
arts. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. We did Ghost.
or whether it was my experimental one. Don't worry, everyone. I'll forgive you if you don't pick mine this week.
I think you should forgive you every week if you don't pick it.
How are you somehow? That's the nicest thing you said
You're
to
in
me.
no position to forgive the audience.
No.
If anything, you should be begging for forgiveness.
I don't beg.
I grovel.
I ask politely. I'm so sorry.
Please, Becky, please.
Becky, come back.
Because I need you. All right. Any other plugs or suggestions? or
I'll see
anything?
you on Instagram.
Oh.
Has anyone found it yet?
I don't know. Are we up to the episodes yet? That
Yeah,
Yeah,
we are.
you mentioned it like episode
Oh.
1 or 2.
No.
Yeah,
No.
maybe.
Yeah, you definitely mentioned in episode 12, which has gone live for a few days.
Okay, well.
Well, that timestamps this episode
None of
nicely.
yet. Yeah.
Oh, I've got a thing.
Ah.
Surprise Synopses by now definitely has a Twitter. So if you like to
Ooh.
tweet and are a Twitter follower, you can follow us on Twitter and get some of our action live streamed to your Twitter device.
Let's not commit to live streams just yet.
No,
but-
not live streamed. Live tweeted. That's the one.
Oh, you're going to live tweet a recording?
yeah, why not? I'll live tweet.
Sure.
Okay.
Writing out furiously Alex's all the mean shit she's saying.
to be fair, I have no concept of what live tweeting involves, but I'll give it a shot. How hard can it be?
You should do it as rogue surprise synopsia. Like someone is secretly spilling all the synopsis beans from inside the studio
Yeah.
live,
We'd
but we
have to
don't
kill
know
you.
who it is. Would we?
Oh,
Oh,
that's
I mean,
rough.
are you not that dedicated into the film?
I don't
Sorry,
wa-
I just didn't
it?
know that Twitter had such high stakes.
I don't want to be a murdy.
I want to be a witness.
I nailed it.
Tweet that. Good luck getting that hyphenated.
You can
That and other great quotable moments will be on our Twitter feed.
potent quotables. We'll link
Good
that
luck
in
getting
the
that
show
hyphenated.
notes below.
Alex. Disdainfully.
Waterfall Stories also has an official Twitter. You can follow if you want.
She done it. She
All
done
right.
did it. Take yourself a sit, woman.
All right. When I play the riff, we're all going to do it together, okay? Like we're a barbershop trio. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Surprise synopses. I think we nailed it.
It was better than I expected, and I was expecting pretty low.
Hello, me again. Didn't really have a lot to talk about. Just wanted to say that was my first time listening back to my pitch, and oh boy, what a ride that was. So, yeah. The main thing I wanted to touch on was the movie I referenced early on was Mouse Hunt, not Mousetrap. It was released in 1997, not the 80s, but the plot was kind of more or less as I described it. Hope you like your shout out, Kurt. Let me know. And yeah, Emily, when you bump into me next time, give me your favorite synopses and we'll give you a nice big shout out. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Yeah. You're taking parts of my soul. Fuck you, Holly.